Before we begin, please imagine the bell notification is on and you're subscribed to Huna Stories. The morning of my mother's funeral was quiet in a way that felt unnatural. Funeral homes have their own rhythm: soft footsteps, hushed voices, the faint smell of lilies that never quite hides the scent of polished wood. People arrived slowly, speaking to me with careful sympathy, as if grief were fragile glass. I nodded, thanked them, accepted the condolences. But grief wasn't the only thing in that room. 6 years earlier, my life had collapsed in a way that never made headlines, but still rewrote everything. My younger sister had taken the man I was supposed to marry, not just a boyfriend, my fiancé, a man who owned half the skyline downtown and spoke about future investments the way most people talk about grocery lists. They didn't hide it very long. Within months, they were engaged. Within a year, married. The family tried to pretend time would smooth things out. My mother especially believed that if we all just behaved politely enough, the damage would disappear. It didn't. I stopped attending holidays. Phone calls became shorter. Eventually, silence replaced most conversations. Life didn't end, though. It just became quieter. I moved forward in ways that weren't visible to the people who measured success through houses and jewelry. So when the funeral began filling with relatives, I already knew she would come. She arrived late. The door opened with just enough force to draw attention. Conversations softened as heads turned. My sister stepped inside like someone entering a formal event rather than a funeral. Black dress, perfectly tailored, hair flawless, her husband beside her, my former fiancé, wearing the same expensive confidence I remembered. And the ring. The diamond was large enough that it caught every light in the room. She spotted me immediately. Of course she did. Her smile appeared first, then the slow walk across the room. People nearby became very interested in the flowers or their phones. She stopped in front of me and looked me over in a way that felt strangely familiar, like revisiting an old argument she had already decided she'd won. "Still alone?" she said softly, though not softly enough. Her eyes drifted to my bare hands. Then she lifted hers just slightly, the diamond flashing. "Poor you," she added, 38 and still by yourself. I got the man, the money, and the mansion." The room didn't react, but the silence thickened. 6 years ago, that sentence might have crushed me. Now it just sounded tired. I smiled. Not a sharp smile, not defensive, just calm. "Have you met my husband yet?" Her expression paused. Not confusion exactly, but interruption, as if the script she had prepared suddenly skipped a page. "He's here," I added gently. Across the room, a tall man had just finished speaking with one of the funeral directors. He turned slightly when I lifted my hand. He walked toward us with the quiet confidence of someone used to being listened to without raising his voice. Daniel had always carried himself that way, not flashy, not performative, just certain. He reached my side and placed a hand lightly on my shoulder before offering condolences again, this time to my sister as well. She stared at him for a moment. Recognition didn't come immediately. Then her posture changed. It was subtle but unmistakable. Her husband noticed it too. Daniel's job required a kind of presence most people only recognize after the fact. He rarely talked about it at home, but people in certain industries knew his name very well, especially people involved in large financial investigations. And my sister's husband built his empire on complicated numbers. The realization spread across her face slowly, like someone watching the tide pull back before a wave. Daniel didn't say anything unusual. He simply greeted them politely, professional, controlled. Then he excused himself to speak with another guest. My sister watched him walk away. Her husband's jaw tightened slightly. For a long moment, no one spoke around us. The service began moving forward. Chairs shifted. The pastor stepped toward the podium. Life continuing whether family drama approved or not. Finally, my sister looked back at me. The confidence was gone now, not destroyed, just uncertain, as if the balance she'd relied on for years had quietly tilted. I didn't explain anything. I didn't need to. The service started and people turned their attention toward my mother's portrait at the front of the room. When it ended, I stepped outside for air. The afternoon light was soft, and the parking lot was nearly silent. 6 years ago, humiliation had felt permanent, like something stamped into my identity. But standing there, I realized something strange. I didn't feel victorious. I didn't feel angry either, just steady. Behind me, the doors opened as people began leaving the service. Somewhere in the quiet crowd, my sister's voice was noticeably absent. And for the first time in years, that silence felt